October 11th through the 14th, and the weather looks real nice for the first couple days of the work week here, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday starts off nice, and then we get a pretty significant rain and windstorm overnight Thursday night into Friday, which will drop a decent amount of rain. Definitely have some strong winds, although I don't think they'll be damaging winds, and then we'll head into the day Friday and start to clear out. Definitely cool down a little bit after kind of a warm start, particularly tomorrow will be warm. So let's take a look at what's going on across the country here. As you can see, we've cleared out from the little weak front that moved through yesterday, and we are starting to build the beginning pieces of our storm that is going to come together pretty strongly across the East Coast as a front. The low pressure system will actually end up way up in northern Canada or central Canada, but there's plenty of warmth actually building here for this time of year across the central part of the country. We've got 40s and 50s for lows up into the Canadian plains here. North of Minnesota, and for this time of year, that's obviously quite warm. And what's going to happen here is this piece of energy, they're all going to kind of come together, develop a pretty good front, which is going to move and tap some Arctic air way up to our north, and try to move it in our direction, move that sort of in our direction, and the front comes through with a decent amount of energy. And then an area of low pressure is going to try to ride along the front, and the models have been modeling this for a good long time, that's going to happen overnight Thursday into Friday, and that will enhance the rainfall and some of the wind across southern Vermont. We look to kind of be in the sweet spot for some of that heaviest rain and the strongest gusts of wind overnight Thursday night. So like I said, it'll be a little bit of a bumpy ride then. Again, I don't think we'll have damaging winds out of it, but definitely gusty. It could be a power outage or two, but I think they'd be pretty widely scattered. So let's take a look at that on radar. Whoops, sorry, before we get to the actually what's happening here. Radar, you can see the same kind of thing here. It's really this storm here that's going to head to our north and drag the front across the country. Right now, you can't see the Arctic air, but the Arctic air is not going to settle on top of us for the next weekend after this comes through. It's mostly going to settle across the Great Lakes. We may tap it for sometime early next week, but I don't think right now we're going to get real cold behind the storm. The colder air for this time of year will sit to our west for this round of precipitation. So as we take a look at what's going to actually happen on Thursday overnight, you can see here's the front. You can see the low pressure system's way up to our north in northern Quebec, up near Hudson Bay. But the front that it drags through is strong. And what's going to happen is as it hits a little bit more enhancement of some Atlantic moisture, and also just continues to wrap up, an area of low pressure will ride up along the front. That enhances the rainfall pretty significantly. And that's what's going to give us a chance of getting 1 inch to 2 inches of rain in a relatively short amount of time. Showers could start anywhere from probably mid to late afternoon on Thursday, but really probably don't get going until sometime during the evening. And probably the 1 inch or 2 inches comes within really probably 3 or 4 hours realistically as it comes overnight. And then there's some showers on the backside. But even though we show the chance for rain basically anytime Tuesday afternoon through Friday, or sorry, Thursday afternoon through Friday morning, it'll probably come through in a pretty significant slug. It'll rain real hard for a little while, and you'll definitely hear some gusty winds out there out of the southeast as the low pressure moves across, and then we will quiet down behind the storm. So let's take a look at that actual forecast for you. Today, pleasant, and we should be sunny once the fog burns off this morning. Close to 60 today. Nice day for early October. Overnight tonight, not that chilly for this time of year. We do clear out, temperatures in the low 40s, and tomorrow's warm. Feels more like September than October with temperatures in the upper 60s. And then we cool off only into the upper 40s overnight Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday starts off with a few sunny breaks, and then the clouds roll in. Evening rain, I would say, really anytime after 3 or 4 in the afternoon, there's a chance of a shower. And that just increases as we head towards 6, 7 o'clock at night. I think the heaviest rain, though, does hold off probably till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Exact timing on this is a little early to tell, but basically sometime overnight Thursday into Friday. Overnight rain, this is when the heavier rain comes down. This is when most of the 1 to 2 inches of rain comes. Temperatures hold in the 50s. That's after a 70-degree day on Thursday. If we saw more sun, we would be even a little bit warmer than that. Friday, the front is still sort of in the process of clearing through us. The morning rain on Friday, by then we should be down to showery kind of precipitation, and the wind should be letting up a little bit. The wind comes through mostly over the night Thursday, and then we clear out by Friday afternoon, a few peaks of sun, and by Friday overnight we're in the upper 30s once again. So for those work week highlights, pleasant start to the week. Wednesday is warm and dry. Significant rain late Thursday night, afternoon through Friday morning. Like I said, mostly of the heaviest rains coming Thursday in the overnight time. Rainfall totals 1 to 2 inches of rain, which is a pretty good slug of moisture. and wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, maybe 45 miles an hour on some of those higher spots Thursday into Friday. That's enough to be, you'll notice it, but it's probably not enough to be damaging. Like I said, a power outage or two is possible, but I wouldn't be too worried about that happening. All right, that's a look at your work week forecast. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons who help support what I do here. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can follow the link below, and patrons get an extra forecast each week, and also a few other benefits, which you can see in the link in the description below. And yeah, thanks for supporting the channel and for following me. And I'll be back on Friday with a look at your Friday morning with an updated look at your weekend forecast.